Kevin Feige reveals Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it is on! It's been 2 long years since we saw any trace of the MCU at Comic-Con. 2 long years. But this year, they totally made up for lost time. On Saturday night, producer Kevin Feige bounced his way onto the Hall H stage, buoyed by the fact that Avengers Endgame finally overtook Avatar for the #1 spot at the worldwide box office, and he brought along with him enough awesome reveals and amazing guest stars to fuel an entire weekend's worth of panels. There's so much cool stuff that we're just going to stop wasting time and dive right in. Let's talk Phase 4. So the first announcement was one we were expecting. The Eternals are coming to theaters November of 2020. A cast of cosmic proportions took the stage, including Angelina Jolie as Thena, Salma Hayek as Ajak, Richard Madden as Icarus, and Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo. Who are all those characters exactly? Well, the short version is they're a bunch of godlike space characters based on Greek mythology that Jack Kirby created in the 1970s when he was getting into a real weird period of his writing. The long version is, well, we don't have time to tell you the long version, and neither did anyone on the panel, because after a few quick comments about how awesome it is to be playing in the MCU, they were shuffled off to make way for the next big reveal, which was Falcon and the Winter Soldier are teaming up February of 2020. But this is going to be a TV show, and you'll need a Disney Plus subscription to see it. But let's face it, you know you're going to get one, especially after seeing Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan storming the stage together, complete with Cap's old shield in tow. Who doesn't want to pay for 6 episodes with more of these justice-loving beefy boys? However, things weren't all fun and games. The presentation was interrupted by a rogue broadcast from a purple, mask-wearing Baron Zemo. That's right, the bad guy who drove a wedge between Tony and Cap in Civil War is back, and it looks like he no longer wants to kill himself and is back to doing what he does best, making life difficult for shield-wielding superheroes and their bionically enhanced buddies. Jumping back to the big screen, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings will be hitting the theaters in February of 2021. And guess what, all you Iron Man 3 haters? The Mandarin is coming along for the ride. And no, we're not talking about the drugged-up thespian played by Ben Kingsley. We're talking about the real-deal supervillain terrorist from the comics. Yes, he does exist in the MCU, and you'd already know that if you watched the Hail to the King short on the Thor the Dark World DVD. See, there was a good reason to include Thor 2 in your collection. Anyways, the MCU's first real martial arts superhero, sorry Iron Fist, go back to your canceled Netflix series, will be played by Simu Liu, who was out on stage for a few moments before the next cast was summoned forth. And it was none other than the MCU's favorite cyborg witch power couple, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany appeared to promote their Disney Plus series, WandaVision. And along with them was newcomer Tiana Paris, who will be playing a grown-up version of Monica Rambeau, who we recently met as a 90s kid in Captain Marvel. We also learned the show will take place after Endgame. How does that work after Thanos gave Vision the worst headache known to man back in Infinity War? More time travel? Or maybe a backup copy of his identity was stored on the Stark Tower's database? There are a lot of options, but not much time to speculate because another Disney Plus Marvel show needed its moment in the spotlight. Loki!
Surprise!
Tom Hiddleston ain't done with the MCU just yet, even if he got choked out by Thanos at the start of Infinity War. The multiverse's trickiest trickster god showed up to tell us his series, appropriately titled Loki, would follow the Loki who disappeared with the Tesseract in 2012 during the events of Endgame. This means this isn't the Loki that went through the big emotional arc of the Dark World and Ragnarok. This is the bad dude who just tried to destroy New York City with a whole Chitauri army. What does that mean for the rest of reality now that he's bopping around the multiverse with a space stone? You'll just have to watch Loki when it hits Disney Plus in spring of 2021 to find out. And speaking of the fate of the multiverse, star Benedict Cumberbatch and director Scott Derrickson were next up, and they were bringing some Lovecraftian vibes with them to promote the next Doctor Strange flick, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, coming May of 2021. And joining them for the presentation was Elizabeth Olsen, making a surprise return appearance. Witches and warlocks are uniting, y'all. Scarlet Witch will apparently also be a big character in the Multiverse of Madness, and the events of that movie will tie in directly to the events of WandaVision. What if that means the vision from the show is actually a vision from a completely different universe? Well, we don't got time to talk what ifs, because we got to talk what if. The first fully animated project from the MCU, the Disney Plus series will delve into various alternate MCU realities and bring back a ton of talent from the movies to voice their respective characters. Feige also brought out Jeffrey Wright, who will be voicing the Watcher, who we imagine will serve as the book-ending narrative device for the series. Kind of like the Crypt Keeper, only more omnipotent and less into murder puns. What If arrives summer of 2021. Next up, we got our final Disney Plus series of the night, Hawkeye, which will be premiering in the fall of 2021. Jeremy Renner joined Feige on stage to say the show would prominently feature Kate Bishop as a character, and based on the logo treatment, it appears that the series will most likely be inspired by Matt Fraction and David Aja's comic run that focused on more grounded stories as opposed to alien invasions. But then it was back to the big screen once more for Thor, Love and Thunder. Feige was joined on stage by director Taika Waititi and stars Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and holy shit, Natalie Portman? That's right, Jane Foster has returned, and all it took to lure her back to the series was a slightly bigger role, like the freaking title role. According to the panel, Jane will become Thor, the mighty goddess of thunder, in this installment. The crowd completely freaked out at this news, as well as the news from Tessa Thompson saying, now that Valkyrie is the king of Asgard, she'll be looking for her queen. Does this mean Chris Hemsworth will be playing the sidekick when his own franchise becomes a freaking queer rom-com? November 2021 cannot get here soon enough. And finally, the night capped off with our first look at Black Widow, which will kick off Phase 4 in May of 2020. They showed off some actual footage from the movie, as well as bringing out stars Scarlett Johansson, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, and a whole bunch more. Oh, and as if that wasn't enough, Feige also dropped at the end that we'll also be seeing Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, Fantastic Four, and motherfucking Blade in the near future. And the panel officially ended with Oscar winner Mahershala Ali coming out to announce that he will be playing the day-walking vampire slayer himself. Whoa, now that's a freaking panel. But hold on, true believers, because it ain't over yet. Our own Steven Serwinski was there on the red carpet to get some even more exclusive scoops from Feige and the Black Widow cast.
We've been developing this for a couple of years now, and it's just been layer upon layer. As like Kate Shortland's come in, and then we get different people coming in from the Marvel universe to enrich the character. It's going to be very unexpected.
Melina, my character's been cycled through the Red Room, Black Widow system 5 times, which is quite a lot of times. She's a spy and an assassin, and she's involved in some scientific work.
So there you have it. Marvel, you may have broken our hearts in 2017 and 2018, but you more than totally made up for it this year. You have won this Comic-Con. Heck, you probably won all Comic-Cons from now until the end of time. But what do you folks think? Are you completely overwhelmed? Is there anything missing that you wanted to see? And does making Mahershala Ali the MCU's Blade confirm that the Netflix shows don't take place in the MCU? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? If you want to get notified every time we go live with a show or drop a new video, feel free to mash that little bell so you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.